All right, let's talk mindful nerd moment for the Flash movie.
All right. What do we got?
So, well, I actually changed what I was going to do based on us talking about it. Um, I originally was going to tongue in cheek have us catching babies falling from the sky because it was so ridiculous. But I love too much what we were talking about, and you were describing what it's like to just get so stuck on something from the past. What could I have done or what might have happened? And we talked about the layers of the Flash actually being able to act on those things more than the everyday person. And it turns into this personification of these worries and the gunk that can kind of layer on us as people if we get stuck in the past.
Right.
So I changed my mind. Of course, people feel free to mindfully imagine yourself catching babies falling from the sky. It would definitely be beneficial to use mindfulness so you don't panic when you're trying to catch them in microwaves.
There we go.
Uh, but today, why don't we help future Barry? So future Barry being it's confusing. Young Barry's future self.
Right.
Do we know who I'm talking about? The one, when they meet in the time sphere or whatever,
Yeah.
he's the one
Ultra
that fights Barry at the
ultra
end.
armored old weird berry.
Yeah, he's got that like armoriness that maybe is from the Kryptonian fights and stuff, and
Yeah.
then over time I don't know, rusts over him. I'm not really sure,
Yeah. Nicholas
but
Cage Superman was in there somewhere.
I was very sad we forgot to mention him in the episode, but yes, Nicolas Cage, so wonderful. Okay, so that's what I'd like for us to do is be this older version of Barry Allen who has been armored and it's just like gunk and decay, and you're just acting, reacting, fighting, even though literally worlds are colliding and falling apart because you just can't let go. Great time for some mindfulness to try and step back from everything because he's just in it too deep.
Okay.
Okay. So, as we always do, I'd like for you to sit straight but comfortable. Close your eyes if that's okay with you. If not, you can always just soften your gaze, not look at anything in particular. And first, just pay attention to your breath. Notice what it feels like to breathe in and out. And as we enter this mindful nerd moment, I want you to shift to imagining that you are breathing in and out as this future flash. Your breathing's probably a little erratic. There's probably a lot of tension because you, for who knows how long, could be decades, I mean, who knows how long, but you have been over and over and over again just been trapped in this idea of how do I keep this world that I grew up in while also preventing my friends from dying, preventing the world from ending. And I want you to just take a moment to feel what this future Flash was probably feeling, where he's just acting and reacting over and over and over again, desperate to keep things from falling apart. And yet, all around him, literally, worlds are colliding, universes, multiverses are colliding and being destroyed, but he's just stuck in it. So I want you to just imagine what that is like to be this Flash. And then I want you to imagine seeing that Flash that created your world. You see him, he comes close to you. And I want you to imagine, because he's one of the only people, maybe the only person who can, he's able to match your speed. And imagine him putting a hand on your shoulder. I want you to imagine him encouraging you to take a breath, slower, deeper breath, in and out. And he says, this isn't something we can change. And instead of running and desperately trying to change it again, you listen to him and you probably feel pain and you acknowledge it. This hurts. I'm feeling pain. I am feeling hurt. You probably think to yourself, no, he's wrong. And you think to yourself, I'm having the thought that Barry's wrong. He's just not thinking of everything. Maybe you have an image of your mom dead flash in your mind, or Supergirl dead flash in your mind. And you say to yourself, I'm having this terrible image of this person dead flash before me. And just anytime a thought or a feeling or an experience happens, you try and create that little bit of space and say, I'm having that thought, I'm having that feeling, I'm having that image or flash or experience. So that slowly you're able to take in Barry Allen in front of you and you let him take off a little piece of that armor that's been on you for decades or longer. When you're ready, take a few deep breaths, breathing in, breathing out. Just acknowledging that hurt that Barry Allen, this future Barry Allen that you've connected with, is feeling, and give him those deep breaths, that sense of calm that he's desperately needing. And take one more deep breath before you shift back to being you in your space, in your world, as slow and boring as we may be compared to the Flash, but admittedly a bit simpler of a life. And when you're ready, open your eyes and we'll wrap up this mindful nerd moment. How was that?
I liked it. One of the things that's always been so interesting about the Flash is how he's in a world by himself because everything
Mm-hmm.
around him is super slow.
Yep.
And so many times when our mind is racing, the object is to try and slow everything down.
Mm.
And that's got to be really difficult for the Flash, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be even more difficult for him to try and slow things down when this is someone that's literally going at light speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like it's one of those things I look at it, I'm like, man, if the Flash can do it, I definitely can, right?
There you go.